Well, obviously we're here because the big anniversary, 20 years since Kim Possible premiered on Disney Channel. Are you still kind of in disbelief? Was it just like yesterday for you?
I guess it's with time and me. For a long time, I wasn't on social media, so I wasn't fully aware of time. And now that social media is like a lot of what I do, I think it's gone a lot faster, but I still feel old either way you look at it.
I mean, it makes me feel old because it was literally my entire childhood. I watched it all the time growing up.
Yep.
I would love if you could take us back though to like 2002 and remember what it was like being cast as Kim. Like, did you know the scope the show was gonna have? Did you have a gut instinct at that time?
Okay, so when I got the audition for Kim Possible, I was on Even Stevens at the time, and I had also done another movie called Cadet Kelly. And so I was kind of in the stable of talent, but they had been going out to a lot of different actors because this was the first show that was Walt Disney Studios animation on Disney Channel. So that kind of set it apart as almost being sort of instantly iconic in that way. And, you know, she was a beautifully drawn character and it just felt very high end. So I knew that it was a big project to be a part of. Yeah. But I mean, it was a very strange because I remember sort of voicing her and finding her voice, which was very much similar to my own. And there was just sort of an instant connection to Kim that I think I had. And I believe that Bob and Mark felt similar in that I was age appropriate and that they also felt that I could do the sarcastic thing that I was doing with Shia so easily on my other show. And so I was a little bit more of the straight man to Will Friedle's Ron Stoppable, who was like utter chaos.
Got you. Was there anyone at any point that was another possible contender, like that could have been Kim, that you ever heard of?
So I do believe that there had been some talks with Allison Hannigan, but I'm not sure about anyone else in particular, and I wouldn't want to misquote, but you know, I believe that Neil Patrick Harris was sort of a contender at one point. Who was it? David Arquette might have been a contender. A lot of people that felt very much outside of the typical Disney castings. And I think they just wanted to make sure that the best person got, you know, the job because it was such a iconic moment for the channel.
I mean, and the rest is history, as they say. And then we have to talk best catchphrase of all time. What's the sitch? Did you have any idea that this was going to become like the catchphrase that's like even now on TikTok?
Oh my gosh, it's all over TikTok. There are literally 786 like million hashtags of Kim Possible. It is thriving and alive. The fans are amazing. There's a great filter that I recently used. And it's a lot of fun to reconnect with old fans and you know, and a whole new generation that's getting exposed to it from like their aunts and uncles and, you know, really cool parents. So
it's amazing. And I mean, our readers really love to learn kind of like those behind the scenes facts that they would never really know in their everyday life. Is there something
they want the tea?
They want the tea. Is there something from the process of making Kim Possible that would like surprise readers or that like you don't think people realize?
I was never in the studio with Will Friedle.
Interesting.
So Will Friedle was with Nicole Sullivan and John DiMaggio, but I was never in the studio because I was in New York and they would patch me in separately or while they were doing something, but it was really never like we could see each other. And so everyone's used to doing things remotely now, but back then it was like a really big deal because I was in New York going to college. I was on Broadway with Beauty and the Beast as well at the time. So it was a lot of scattered coordination for me to be able to be Kim. Another thing, let me see. I actually did have some say in the "What's the Sitch" slogan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was sort of my idea. So Bob and Mark had taken some inspiration from me multiple times while I was voicing Kim, and they were developing her as an actual teenager girl. And they had asked me like, hey, what would you say if you were just like talking to somebody like, hey, what's up? Like, you know, what's going on? I was like, I don't know, like, what's the sitch or something? And so there was a couple different things that were floating around, but what's the sitch did kind of get bumped up. And they had a knack for understanding her personality. Of course, I would hope they would. And then they had asked me one time, you know, where do you shop? Like, where's your favorite? And at the time it was Club Monaco. And so they decided they would make her work at Club Banana, like Banana Republic. So I think they were really good at trying to understand my point of view, because even though I was a little bit older than the kids watching, I think it's pretty typical that they wanted Kim to be just a little bit older, to be a little bit more inspirational to the younger generation.